where's it when we crown the king? This is game day, lights on, lights hot. Let's ride. Snap back to the action, cleats in the turf, blood in the dirt, now tell me what it's worth. Jiggy got two, Buck Nuts got one, but the field's full of sharks and they smell that run. Coaches talk big, fans scream loud, but only one team gets to stand that proud. Game of the week, yeah, we circle it red. Legends get born and the week play dead. Live from the booth, we break it all down. Game of the week, who's taking the crown? Lights on, helmets crash. Last day is one shot, make it last. Crowds don't wait for the timid assault. If you ain't built for war, better walk off. Boom, that's my beers get loud. Marching the history, chasing that crown. Who's got the heart? Who's got the grit? This is season 32. This is it, this is game day, where the stories get told. One last run before this version folds. No scripts here, just fate and fight. No second chances on Saturday night. Pick your poison, run that play. Every dog got bark till you bring that pain. This ain't no story, it's live on the set, where the field gets wet from the blood and sweat. So line them up, coaches, stars, the elite. Who's taking this crown? Who's tasting defeat? The countdown's over. We're alive. This is game day. One final chapter to write. Will it be Jiggy? Will it be Buck Nut? Or will the whole damn field rise up and ignite? Ignite and ignite.
What's going on, everyone? This is Tim. I'm here with Phony Penguin, Pat, and Big Red. We have a big show today. We have a couple guests on the show. Coach Anton with Old Dominion, as well as Coach SgtLingus with Marshall Thundering Herd. They'll both be on the show here in a little bit. I know most are tuning in to kind of watch the new college football reveal this morning. This is the second edition of that. I know the committee was up late last night going over things and stuff. I think 6 wrote me at almost maybe 11:30 or 11 o'clock, and they had finished up their meeting and stuff. So they had met pretty late there, which was pretty exciting. How are you doing this morning, Penguin?
I am surviving a bit, a little not great sleep, but there's nothing to get you energized and ready to go like another episode of Game Day.
Yeah, man, you were kind of in the heart of some of the storms last night. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I got to roll my happy butt out of bed around, I think it was like 2:30, 3 a.m. and go inside to my in-laws' house and sit on a very uncomfortable couch surrounded by dogs and try to sleep for a while. It wasn't the best.
Anyone else around any of the big storms that hit like the Midwest and in the United States yesterday?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy here. Dog was freaking out. I was chilling, stayed up too late, so I'm tired this morning. Latest I've stayed up in forever, so I'm alive though, so kicking.
That's good. And Pat, you were not in the storm central last night, but you were golfing. Is that correct?
Yeah, what a golf boner day yesterday. Played Pinehurst where they had the U.S. Open last year, and then the highlight of the day though was, I told you guys before the show, the par 3 course. You just walk around. There's no dress code, which is great. Like, you just walk out there and you're just barefoot playing golf, drinking ranch waters, and high-fiving your boys after they tap in for a double.
That's exciting. The weather was nice too, right?
It was, yeah, and it's just a beautiful place to be. They've got it set up to just, it's like Disneyland if you're a golfer, basically, So it was cool.
That's exciting. Hey, Big Red, how's your the college baseball season going? Have you guys wound it down already?
Man, well, so season wrapped up for me not so long ago. Got to go to the opening round and play a little bit of playoff baseball, and unfortunately we didn't come out with it, and we gave our team a chance to put a good product out there, but a few coaching blunders kind of put us behind, and we just weren't able to claw back. So Big Red is officially retired from baseball now. Joining society as a full-time worker now.
And welcome to the real world.
Unfortunately, man, but I'm glad to be here. I'm a full-time NDLer now.
Well, that's exciting. Let's just jump right into this. This is going to be a long show if we don't. We'll jump right into the college football reveal. I think I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Last week we just went 1 through 12. They did 20 teams. They ranked their top 20 teams. I'm sure anyone that knows, I'll just explain it real quick. Just because the teams are ranked in the order they are doesn't mean that's how they're seeded into the bracket. There's different factors that factor into the college football playoff bracket as opposed like the seeding as opposed to just the rankings in general. Where you have the top 5 conferences are getting certain seeds. You have Notre Dame who can only go up to 5, and there's some other things with the mid majors and stuff like that. And so we will just kind of jump right into it this morning. Here's obviously a statement from the college football playoff. It talks about basically the committee and what their kind of objection was their goal and stuff last night when they did meet. And it does state here they met for over 60 minutes last night. This is number 2, the second release here. And just talks about the difference between quality win and solid win. Penguin, you'd be happy to know nowhere in this statement does it talk anything about a loss or a quality loss. I think maybe they heard the public's outcry with that last week.
Love it.
But it does talk about terms like quality win and solid win are not interchangeable. And this week they leaned heavily into that difference between the two, which we talk a lot about on here. And so we'll kind of jump right into this, the pick 'em here. And then we'll kind of go from there. So the college football reveal, I'm going to go 1 through 6, and then I'll go down from the bottom. So the number 1 seed from the College Football Playoff Committee would be the Ole Miss Rebels. Doesn't come as a shocker. They've been there. They were there last week, and nothing's changed with them. Smitty has the Ole Miss Rebels kind of rolling. And then number 2, you have Clemson, LJFA, ACC leader right now, a favorite to probably win that conference, unless Pat or someone else has something to say. And then we have Alabama Crimson Tide at number 3 with their one lone loss, I do believe, to Georgia, at Georgia. And then we have Texas coming in at number 4. So we already see 3 SEC teams, pretty top heavy here. Colorado at number 5, Coach Andy out there in the Buffs. And then we have Notre Dame at number 6. Then we'll go down here. They did the top 20. So the 20th team, there you go. There's Pat's North Carolina Tar Heels sitting at 20. Central Michigan's Chippewas. Coach fired up Chip there sitting at 19, which I thought is a little low. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Northwestern at number 18. Florida Atlantic. Coach Jumpers Owls there at 17. He's had a lot of close games lately. It's been pretty exciting. Number 16 is the Iowa State Cyclones. Coach Penguin has a big game coming up as well. And then USC, number 15. The Texas Red Raiders at number 14. Oklahoma Sooners at number 13. And you have the LSU Tigers at number 12. And then the Utah Utes at number 11. And the Tennessee Volunteers at number 10. I bet Penguin loves that. Coach Big Mike at number 9. And you have the Missouri Tigers at 8 and the Oregon Ducks at number 7. So I'll run this down through just so you can see again the top 20 teams for the college football playoff reveal for their second edition of the college football playoff reveal. Obviously, lots of football to be played left, but lots of discussion now when you really come into it. And then this is kind of how it's going to play out in the bracket itself for the pairings if the season was to end today. Obviously, they're assuming that these teams that are slotted in between the 1 through 4 are the conference champs as well as the mid-major. And so that's kind of where we look right now. What's your guys' reaction? Is there anything that's just completely blew your mind with the top, these teams that have made the playoff?
That's a lot of SEC teams. I'll say that. I mean, I guess it's not too big of a surprise, but and then Oklahoma sitting on the edge right there. I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say it's going to be an SEC dominated playoff. But I'm really excited to see that how that USC Notre Dame game shapes how some of the seeding works out. And does Notre Dame, are they still a factor if they lose that game? I wonder.
Yeah, and so based upon the playoff bracket here, the first team out is going to be Oklahoma.
Another
Oklahoma
SEC
first.
team.
Yep, another SEC team, and then they have Texas Tech as the second team out, and then USC is the third, and Iowa State is the fourth. Obviously, Central Michigan would be like I think 7 on the list out, and so they're pretty far down there, and I think they were a little higher last week, if I'm not mistaken. Pat, what's your thoughts on the college football playoff reveal? You think they got it right?
You know what? Yeah, and I think the biggest surprise here for me is the Utah situation. I'm sorry if I missed it there. Who's right behind Utah?
LSU is 12, right behind
Y-
Utah.
Yeah, so I would definitely switch them out. Like if they played on a neutral field, I feel like LSU would win by multiple touchdowns. But the biggest surprise is what comes after. I watch a lot of games. I love Wilds, even though he doesn't see eye to eye with me with my appetizer choices. Um, he should not be. What is he ranked 14th? What's he doing at 14th? Like, why is he up so high? Like, as one of the closer teams to be in. I don't. I've watched the games. He's got a. It's like those Mike Leach teams at Texas Tech. They throw the ball and play zero defense. So I rather see teams that have, from the games I've watched, that are good on offense and defense, be a little bit closer to punching into the playoff. But I would definitely put LSU ahead of Utah. Other than that, well done.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Texas Tech sitting at 8-2, with an interesting loss to a 6-3 Baylor team, which isn't a horrible team at all. Watch the game, but I'm with you, Pat. I think that there is several other 1-loss or even 2-loss teams with a better resume than Texas Tech.
Yeah, a strange one for sure. If anyone actually watched the Colorado game, he was getting absolutely crushed. And then he had a little comeback in the third quarter, but then he still ended up losing by 10. Like he's not the 14th best team in the league, in my opinion.
Well, who would you put there instead? Just bump up USC one, or who else?
Bump USC up. I mean, where's OU at? Oklahoma would smash him.
Yeah,
Oklahoma's in front of him.
Yeah, just ahead of him.
Just ahead of him. Okay,
But you do have. I mean, so Iowa State is behind Texas Tech, right?
Right.
And they did lose to him, which makes sense. Okay, that Iowa State did lose to Texas Tech. But you do have a team such as a Northwestern. How much weight do you put on the Big Ten? And then you have an undefeated Central Michigan, who was higher last week. And then obviously you have a 2-loss North Carolina team. And who are you? Well, you lost to a non-ranked. You lost to a non-ranked team too. So I guess they kind of probably put that weight up.
I would put Chip above Texas Tech and FAU above Texas Tech, and obviously FAU is back there, but they're in the playoff because of the rule, right? But I would put both of them ahead of Texas Tech.
And you played on the. Here's a question for you, Pat. Is I know when you read the rules of the committee, they're not supposed to look at the seedings, and you're supposed to rank them not knowing the outcome, right? Like who they're going to play and everything. You're supposed
Correct.
to rank them. And so, but do you think that plays a factor when they are sitting in there in the committee room? Is that
not at all? So we never ever talked about the matchups or anything like that. Not one time did it even come up. It was just all about the resume. Like, what have they done? Like, blindly almost. That's why I really like Andy's blind ranking thing, because it's pretty eye-opening when you're on the playoff committee. The way I vote things is a little bit different than the way you have to look at it, like resume-wise. And people bring really good arguments to the table, and not one time where we're like, oh, we should put this guy here so they, like it'll be a good matchup or anything like that. Never came up. Just straight rankings.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at if it ended today and this was the college football playoff bracket, you'd have Florida and Missouri playing each other in the first round, and then that's it. None of the other teams had played each other this season. But then obviously you're going to have the dog eat dog because you do have two Big Ten. I mean, you do have another SEC team, so the winner of that game would play Ole Miss, which is going to happen when you have a bunch of SEC teams in the mix. But yeah, really interesting. Big Red, what do you think about this? Do you think you'd change anything? I noticed that Iowa's nowhere near the top 20 right now.
Yeah, really, I'm ashamed to see Iowa not anywhere in that top 20, but just know we're coming, man. Stay humble, stay patient, and just keep going. But in terms of college football playoff and how it's shaped out to be, I know you like the whole blind resume, not seeing a team, and what the record looks like, not knowing who the team is. But I think FAU should be a little higher. Just for the sole fact of watching their games, they show that they can win the close one. They show they can win the dominant games, and they've shown that they can come from behind and win. So I think FAU is a team I'm really high on. I'd like to see them a little higher above Texas Tech. Other than that, I love the landscape of it right now, especially coming into this last block. A lot of these teams have some big time games. So, I mean, it's going to be pressure football. And you know what they say, man, pressure either makes diamonds or pressure makes coal. So we're really about to find out who the diamonds are in the college football playoff.
I like
Question.
it.
Is FAU really showing us something, or are they just escaping and are lucky to be there? I mean, play devil's advocate there. Man, they have played with fire multiple times, and that defense is a little sus, to say this.
And I mean, and granted, you make a great point, and heck, I'd like to shoot back to our game that we had. We played a heck of a game, and it came down to the wire, and you ended up scratching it out. And I'd like to think I'm one of your better wins on the resume. But for your Iowa State team, it's, wow, this Iowa State team can win under pressure. The defense delivers when it needs it most. And on offense, they run a sound ship. And that's what I like to think about FAU of, yeah, they might be surviving, but they have what it takes to survive.
Big Red, can I hop in there? By the way, we always, and I know Penguin said it, we're like, well, there's no such thing as a good loss. Then why do we talk about close wins? Like, they won the game. If we're not going to talk about bad losses, why are we talking about close wins? He won the game. He's undefeated. Like, he wins the games. Yeah.
Absolutely. And granted, it's
Here's
like,
how you get there.
I know, I promise I'm not going to bring up quality loss. I absolutely guarantee it. Now, I do like to bring up the blowouts. That's one thing that frustrates me is like when a really good team that's supposed to be way up there and just absolutely gets destroyed. That means that on any given basis at any point during the season, their team could absolutely collapse. Now, looking at the landscape of FAU, and granted, just because I threw Iowa State in there too, because I'm really high on Iowa State as a team too, unbiased to Penguin. But granted, the close wins I think should be talked about again with the close losses. That means that they stay competitive, and that even, especially if you watch the game, that's the biggest thing to me is when people just go to the scoreboard thread and go, they got blown out because so and so, or oh, this was a close game. You've got no context of what the game looked like if you didn't watch it. And so, granted, like, somebody could be, they lost by 15, but say they were down 40 the entire game. Or, watching iron sharpen iron the entire game and somebody loses by 3 or wins by 3. Those are two competitors, man. And I think the winner of that close game should be, hey, they've got what it takes to pull out a close win. And in the back of my head, I want to sit there and think, well, this guy kept it close against an admirable opponent. If he's got a good resume at the end of the year, it should be considered how he plays these top teams. Now, if you win by 3 to North Texas, I'm not commending you for that. But if you win by 3 against one of the better teams in the country, then, I mean, good for you, man. Way to take care of business and way to handle it. And if you lose by 3, that sucks. It's still a loss at the end of the day. But if you got a 10-2 record or 11-1 record and your one loss is by 3 to a great team, I think you're going to be in good shape.
So just to go back to the Central Michigan, I said that a little bit earlier. So I think the playoff committee, obviously, we always say that they do a great job. It's not easy. I'm sure there's lots of arguing. It's probably hard for everyone to come to. You got to compromise, right? But I think they swing and miss at the mid-major. And the reason I say that is that if you just compare resumes, right? Like, Pat, you just talked about it. If I was to do a blind resume with the two teams, okay, and I only use strength of schedule, I'm going to pick Florida Atlantic. But if I think Rain brought this up the other day, is that with strength of schedule, it can be misleading if you don't go and look at the games themselves, like go and look at the schedule. And the reason I say that is Florida Atlantic has played one team this season that has played more than 5 games. They've played more than 5 games. They've only played one team that is over or at or over 500 so far this year. That's it, just one team. And that's South Florida Bulls, okay? And they beat them by 3. South Florida's a great team. They play Charlotte and Tulsa, who are both over 500. Those are the remaining 2 games, okay? They've played a lot of close games. Their margin of victory is a lot less than Central Michigan, okay? They gave up 69 points to a team that's 3-6. 69 points, and they just did that a couple days ago. How did they not notice that? He wins 71-69 in like 10 overtimes, right? I don't know if it went to 10 overtimes, but you go to Central Michigan's resume. They have a worse strength of schedule, okay? But they've played 3 teams over 500, okay? And they've beat them all, okay? And they have a bigger strength of schedule. They've played 2 teams outside of conference that are better teams than Florida Atlantic has played outside of conference, okay? Both over 500. And so I don't know how you put Central Michigan below Florida Atlantic. Their defense is better. They boast the top 15 defense in the league, which, I mean, that's got to account for something. And Pat, you talked
top
about it.
Top 15 against who, though? Top 15 defense against who?
No, I mean, it's still a top 15. Well, Florida Atlantic has played subpar opponents, and they have the 90th ranked defense.
Yeah,
the
but
90th
dude,
ranked
their conference is night and day ahead of the MAC. Night and day.
I got to jump in and say I think it comes down to that the committee is weighing that win over South Florida as the big difference here between the teams, and just kind of, I'm not saying ignoring, but not really looking at the rest. Because, I mean, to be blunt, if I watch a Florida Atlantic game and I watch a Central Michigan game, I think the choice is heavily in Central Michigan's favor there. But if you haven't watched the games and are just looking at, like, okay, who do they beat? That South Florida game tips it the other way. So, I mean, I hope the committee is not just delving into the numbers, but actually making sure to watch some of these games as well.
I do agree with that. Definitely watch the games.
But I mean, it's all going to shake out. He plays Charlotte and Tulsa at the end of the season here, and most likely could have
a championship game.
Yeah,
conference championship game
with a possible ranked opponent. And so, I mean, there's a lot still to be, but that's the swing and miss. I think I would have put Central Michigan ahead of Florida. I've watched both of them play several games this season, and I know the MAC overall as a conference is pretty bad. But if I just look at the out of conference scheduling, because that's really the only thing that I can compare other than the conference itself, is Central Michigan played way better opponents out of conference than Florida Atlantic did.
Can I hop in here really quick and say something? So if Florida Atlantic wins out, goes 13-0, would you still put Central Michigan in after those 2 good teams that you just said he has to play, and then he has to play a conference championship game? You have to, in my opinion, put him in.
I probably would at that time, yeah. But I'm just looking at what I see right now. I don't think I would have put Florida Atlantic ahead of Central Michigan right now. But if he beats Charlotte, who's 6-2, he beats Tulsa right now, who's 6-2, and then obviously he plays in his championship game. Let's say he plays South Florida again, and wins, then obviously I think he's in. The biggest question then is going to be: is do you put South Florida in with 1 loss and a conference champion over Central Michigan?
No. He had his chance. If you're going to get in this playoff, you need to be undefeated as one of those. Yeah, absolutely. You cannot have a loss. You're gone.
Yeah, unless it's to a Power 5 playoff team. That'd be. I think that would be. Let's say one of the, let's say Florida Atlantic's only losses to an
I get what you're
SEC
saying.
team, or
Yeah.
one of those teams. But
Yeah, like the number 2 seed in the playoff or whatever. I get that.
yep. Yep. Which is definitely the argument that a lot of the SEC teams have, is that some of their losses are to each other, and those teams are going to make the playoff. And that was an argument we've had on PTD, and we had last week too. At some point, though, the regular season has to matter a little bit, so you got to start winning some of those games. Well, the top 25's out too. I know that Penguin had brought it up pre-show. He was a little dumbfounded. Looking at the top 25, you can see here on the graphic, nothing's really changed up at the top. You still have Ole Miss, Clemson, Oregon, Alabama, and Texas rounding out that top 5. I think the bottom 5 and the bottom 10 is always the big mix. Obviously, my Washington State Cougars had a big loss this week to San Diego State, which obviously took us out of any running for any college football playoff, which I don't think we would have been. We'd have needed a ton of help, strength of schedule wise and non-conference scheduling. But Penguin, what are your thoughts on the top 25, either media or coaches?
Well, I think shall I say the top 10-ish pretty much makes sense. I've got to agree with where most of those teams fall in there. I think not a lot of debate to be had. Now when we get after that, there, I wonder if some of these teams are spots they still belong. I mean, Northwestern still checking in, looking at the media poll at 15. Seems a little high to me for them, frankly. And granted, I know we've won 8 games, but I don't think there's any chance in hell that Iowa State belongs at flirting with the top 20 in these polls, frankly. I mean, when doing my own, I check myself in somewhere around 30. So I'm just finding that a little curious. I personally would put us right about 30 still right now. I think we've
This is
had
some serious coach speak right here.
We've had our tests. We passed one the other night. Other than that, we did not give a great account for ourselves in those games versus Texas Tech and Ole Miss.
Smitty's been teaching you how to do the coach speak. Well done.
I still have some bruises from that game.
Yeah, exactly. He probably coached you up on the mic on how to lowball your team.
Hey, we won our 8 games. The administration has informed me that while they can't give me the coaching contract to sign right now today, but I fully expect to be invited back for another year. So I have every intention of come this summer and fall of still being in Ames. So I mean that's really what we're focusing on here. We're playing with house money at this point, but I still wouldn't put myself in the top 20.
I'm going to give a plug. So sorry. I'm going to give a plug here really quick to Penguin, by the way. If you ever get a chance to play this guy in the out of conference or in your division, calls every play in the playbook. He's the most fun guy you'll ever play in the game, by the way. Just wanted to give the ISU a little plug. That's why I think they're also ranked 16th, is because there is no more fun opponent to play than Penguin. You never know what he's going to call.
That could be partially attributed to my eyesight and not necessarily if I brought my glasses or not, if I'm actually able to see what I'm supposed to be calling it.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna pitch in, man, and I appreciate it, dude. You're one of the most humble guys that I know, one of the most humble guys that I've met. But you can it at putting yourself at 30, dude. You're a great opponent. No, I mean I'm gonna call a stone, man. And like if we like to keep things real here, and we like to call people out on their BS, and I'm gonna call you out on your BS. You are not the 35th ranked coach in this league. You are a top 25 coach. You're running a top 25 roster. You do really good on defense. You do really good mixing up your offense. And if you got some pretty good wins on your schedule, I mean, you've taken care of business when you've had to. You've won some tight games, man. And it's okay to say, you know what, this was well deserved. And this is one of those moments where you got to go, yeah, this is well deserved.
Couldn't agree more.
It's always the hardest part when you get down to this. When you do the top 25, I noticed that, man, I changed my rankings a ton yesterday from probably like 16, 15, all the way down to 25. I kept moving teams up, moving them down, because when I'd start going looking at who they played, who they lost to, obviously, you could spend hours and hours dissecting it. And so I think it's It's definitely a testament to your season and how the other coaches view you, though, Penguin, is that they either ones that have played you, like Pat talked about, know how you play, and know, I mean, when you get up into that 8-9 win mark in a big conference, that's a big deal. And so you obviously have a big game coming up this week that could really tip the scale for you in the positive direction too, as you face off against a top 10 team in Utah. So,
I mean, we're excited for the opportunity, but I don't know. We're also trying to be realists here.
Hey, a chip in a chair, Penguin. Just get out there and coach it up. That's all you got to do, and let the little digital guys handle it.
But I also got to say, dude, it hurts me so much to not see Iowa come in at 25, man. Or even Boston College is another one that I think is really good. That
BC should definitely be ranked.
Right,
BC should be
that's
ranked,
what I was
dude.
sitting there looking at. I'm like, where's Boston College at, man?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
I think they were in mine.
People see the 2 losses and they're like, oh, it's BC, 2 losses. Go look at who he lost to.
No, literally. And that's the thing. It's like, I love Georgia just as much as the next person. And I know they play such a tough schedule. But with 4 losses, man, it's like, we know they're not, like, record-wise, not going to be a top 20 team. And with resume-wise.
Boston College does have 3 losses, but still,
3 losses, sorry.
But
still the 3 losses
it's
are
Texas, Ole Miss, and Florida State.
There you go.
Yeah.
And FSU was in the college football playoff rankings last week at the number 12 seed. Yeah.
And it was a close loss at the beginning of the year. But in the same sense, if I was to look at their schedule right now they don't have that. Their biggest quality win right now is Iowa, which obviously isn't even a ranked team either. But that's their biggest quality win right now. Obviously, they still play a number 20 North Carolina, and that game pretty much is going to decide who goes and plays Clemson in the ACC championship game. So, big game in the ACC, lots of stuff still in the mix there. But I definitely believe that they should be ranked ahead of Cincinnati and Georgia.
Yeah, I was about to say, those are the 2 teams I'm taking. Personally, and I try to stay unbiased with it. The 2 teams I'm taking out are Georgia and Cincinnati, and I'm replacing it with Boston College and Iowa. And by Boston College, I'm probably putting that. I think I put them at 21 or 22, I think, just because of what their losses were.
Yeah, they're very good.
Speaking of teams that should be ranked here, today on the show we have Coach Pirate Flag, the Old Dominion Monarchs coach. Many know him as Anton in the league. This is his first season in the NDL. He is sitting atop the SEC Sun Belt East right now with a 7-1 record, with a big clash against the Marshall Thundering Herd and Coach SgtLingus, who is also on the show. Will come on in a little bit. Hey, Anton, how are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
This is your first season in the NDL, is that correct?
Yeah. I found it by accident in a college football Discord recruiting chat, and I left everything I was a part of because this is. I've always said this is exactly the kind of stuff I was looking to jump into.
Yeah, that's exciting. It seems like so you said like a college football Discord, someone just must have posted in there like recruiting clip or something. Was there anyone else that you either brought on or you knew prior to the NDL?
So I think Homie was the one who made the post. We were wrapping up our regular dynasty, we called it Road to Glory. And I'd always run it with Tutty, who's Northwestern in here. I think he kind of shouted me out last time he was on here. And Jumper, Florida Atlantic, he was one of the people that actually came over and played came over here too. So awesome to see everybody playing well. I think we've got like a combined 2 losses so far in here. Not bad.
Hey, Anton, Penguin here. How you doing this morning?
Not bad, man. How about you?
Pretty good. Now, as someone who's definitely been, playing virtual ball for some time, let's go back to your origin story here. When was your introduction to video game football? What game was the first time you were on the sticks scoring touchdown?
Oh, God, I don't know. I've been playing Madden. Ironically, this is probably the first time I didn't pick up a Madden copy since, I don't even know, 2000 maybe. Probably before that. I've been playing. I'm 36 now, which is getting into dust. But I've played forever. And, you know, it's just like this stuff. This is why this is going back to, you know, being a child, you know, having like Madden 03, getting home from school, right? You know, riding the school bus, doing your homework on the bus so that you can start your, you know, a new franchise every single day, you know, on Madden. So, you know, I've done this stuff since I was a kid and probably getting way too old to still be here, but here we are.
I ain't gonna lie. For those of us like myself whose origin story starts more with Tecmo Bowl or John Elway's football on the NES, talking about the Madden as an origin story when I can remember the time before Madden definitely makes me feel a little dated. That's for sure.
I can say that I can say Super Nintendo NFL Quarterback Club '96 or '98 was at least my intro.
Yeah, great game.
Are you kidding me? My intro was Madden 07 with Sean Alexander on the front of it.
That's one of the best ones of all time,
man.
though.
You kidding me? Oh my
Great game.
goodness.
And I'd already been married for 6 years at that point. All right. Anyway, Anton, got to watch some of your games. Got to play you one time there. Seen a little bit of how you ball. How would you define your play style, coach?
I don't know. I mean, I've always liked to run the ball. I think when we got down to the fourth day of the draft, when we finally got to my pick when I got here, by the time I got there, I was just a couple of teams I was looking at. So the thing I liked about Old Dominion was just they had a scat back named Roche. I don't know if anybody's heard of him or not. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to give this guy the ball and see how many wins he can carry me to. So, yeah, I mean, I've never been really great at passing down the field or anything like that. I just kind of try to get shifty with it and just grabbed a team that kind of fit that. But yeah, it'll be nice going forward. I'm definitely not like a Old Dominion lifer or anything. It'll be nice to.
Had you previously used them at all before this season?
Like 6 minutes before I took him in the draft, I hopped into practice mode just to see what kind of speed and everything we had. And you know, I think they're a tough team to play with. I find that I'm giving up like I think it's 62 yards per carry on defense, but offensively they're fun to run around with.
So, in a perfect world, where are you hoping to head to one day? What are some of the targets on your list? If you want to spill some secrets.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to be curious to see, you know, how doing all of the things that you do for a season here, where it kind of gets you, especially with teams holding on to their teams. I've kind of always said though, and I don't know if Razor's going to be taking them or holding on to them or not, but I've kind of always got a fallback. You know, if I have a good season and he chooses not to hang on to them, I'm going to be the biggest Pirate fan in the world in here too. So I don't really know though at the top of the pile. I'll have to see what the numbers look like when the new game comes out.
Gotcha. So, outside of the football world, what type of stuff do you do when, if let's say there's no internet available for you, you can't play NCAA? What are you going to be doing for fun?
Oh gosh, probably like drive off into the lake. I guess that's pretty much what I do. I mean, when you got two kids, you're not doing a lot out of the house. Yeah. So whenever I work at the house too, so I'm definitely a big homebody right now. But yeah, so when they're going to bed, if I'm not like messing around on the football game or playing Warzone with my buddies, that's not a lot going on right now.
Fair enough. So, as someone then who you're making, yeah, I've heard about the lists there. How long is this list present?
It's long. You ever seen a CVS receipt?
I have.
And you guys just keep adding teams, so it's like at some point we're going to have to get capped.
Who's the last team you've added on that list?
I don't know. I think probably Mort, which I think he's the very last person on here for beating the Pirates.
Dude hasn't even been here for a week, and he's already on the list.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. I mean, the person who was looking for the boyfriend, I had to scratch them off like as soon as they got kicked. That was like a 10-minute list. They're currently the record holders for shortest tenure.
Who is the top of the list right now?
That's personal. Now, honestly, I really don't have anything, any like big rivalries or anything set up or whatever. I mean, like I've told people, that whole thing was just a joke when it was all going on, because it just felt like everybody was hitting me with the fire hose or whatever when all that kind of came off. But
some people went into hiding because they didn't really know you, And I mean, when you put out that hit list, they probably weren't sure if it was a video game or real life.
Yeah, well, that's also good too. I mean, I probably should have asked. I should have sort of tested the waters to see how serious. If I can avoid playing some good teams because they fear me for driving to their house, that's got to be a win for me long term. But no, yeah, it was all in fun.
One of the funniest things I've seen in a long time, to be honest with you.
I appreciate it.
Because it was like the first 8. I looked at the list and then I went in the live chat and it was just like 8 people who were having a conversation with each other. So you just took their 8 names.
Some of
Yeah,
them,
I mean,
some of
honest
the
to God,
people on that list though weren't even in the conversation at all. I don't even know if they were typing in there.
dude, no, this was so funny. I literally just went. I was like, I didn't say anything. I just went in and grabbed everybody who was like saying you're a dick, and then everybody who like made some emoji about a clown or a kick, and I just grabbed everybody's name right there. I didn't say anything.
I was just glad
left
I
it
wasn't
alone.
on the list.
And then like I don't even know who found it. I don't know if it was Smitty or whatever, but I swear that list was 8 minutes old before somebody was like, "Why does he have all these names on his list?"
People were trying. It was like picking on the really strange kid in high school, right? Like you had to decide if you wanted to be on that kid's list or
Yeah,
not.
fingers
And
and
so
candy. Yeah,
people were probably trying to decide if they were going to even address your crazy list you had.
yeah. But yeah, I'm a completely normal guy, and that was all a joke. So if anybody took
It
that
was,
wrong,
it was, dude, it was top tier humor. I gotta be
Smitty
honest
says
with you.
that that's why he's still so worried about the list. That's why he didn't come on the show today.
Yeah. I had so few of y'all's IP addresses, so don't even worry about it. It's less
Oh,
than
that makes it feel much better.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You probably can't find Penguin's IP address.
That's
That's
true.
true.
I heard camper. That sounds awesome. Is that like a daily thing? Like permanently?
It's a long story,
Okay, I
but
was
yeah,
like,
that's the present situation.
okay, because
There-
I was like, if you're
So-
making fun of me and you're like riding around in a Sprinter van full time, like, okay, I'm more worried about you than me right now. But
There has been instances where Penguin's been on the show and you can hear the animals in the background.
that's sick.
That's
Pitch
true.
Mike
That's
says
true.
Penguin lives in a van down by the river.
There's no river, and it's a camper.
So
My
Anton,
county or my the city that I live in has 812, I think, registered people. So
oh, I thought you were going to say registered sex offenders.
no, who would say something like that? It wouldn't be me. Who would open
I
a
live
call
in
with
a
that?
community of banned individuals. So Anton, down there in Old Dominion in the Sun Belt, obviously Coach Razorback, your guys' conference commissioner, and a big promoter of the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt's been able to represent the college football playoffs on numerous occasions now. Obviously, with that trip up against Virginia, it doesn't look like anyone out of the Sun Belt's probably going to represent the Sun Belt this year. What big I mean, just kind of your season outlook for Old Dominion. Do you think if you don't represent the East in the is that like a letdown for you, or what was your expectations this season?
Honestly, I had no idea. When you come in and there's 130 plus people in here, you don't really know where you stack up. I've always done well in the regular dynasties that I've been a part of, but I mean, I kind of knew what was up. Ultra for Virginia, I had a hard time scheduling him, but I think if I would have got him earlier, I would have been a little bit less, I don't know, hubris in that game. I went up almost 14-0. I was on his 2-yard line, about to go up 14, and he just whacked my left tackle. I pitched the option right into his back, and it was just all downhill from there. Even when I picked him off to start the first drive, I mean, I could barely move the ball. So that was kind of I had him week 3, but I didn't play him until pretty recently. And I was just like, oh, I can't move the ball at all. And then the other part too is when you find out when you hop in here that I think Marion County had taken them all the way to the playoff last year, and you're like, oh, I don't even feel cool for going maybe 12-1. He went further than me 2 months ago. So I don't know. I think to answer your question, I would think my expectation would be to win out the rest of the way. I think I shouldn't be anywhere near a playoff, especially after losing to Virginia like that. But yeah, I would say it'd be reasonable to win out just looking at the games I've got, but I don't know.
And being on the other side of that, I'd like to put in there as a aftermath of ODU being in my conference last year, being Georgia Southern going 10-2, and my one loss stopping me from getting to the Sun Belt Championship from being ODU. Go win out, dude. I've loved watching your games all year. Seems like you're a great coach. I love the way that you play, and for what it's worth, I expect you to win out. So keep going, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. They're fun to play with, and I mean, and I'll say this too. Everybody that's in that conference, I know, I saw the same stuff with talking about the Mountain West, but I've enjoyed. I mean, everybody that I've played with has been 5 stars across the board. No one's put a thing in my ear saying that I'm getting 2s or whatever. So I've really enjoyed everybody that I've played with in the conference so far.
Anton, so we went to this NDL convention a few weeks ago, and I hit your praises during the convention. You are very funny. You make great videos. ECU graduate. So I just moved out here from California, and the talk of the town is that it is anyone can get into ECU. Is that true?
Yeah, you're talking to me right now. I got in, so yeah.
And what did you major in at ECU besides partying? Because I heard that's
They
what
don't-
goes on there.
That's what I'm saying. They don't do majors there. You just basically like handwrite a letter to somebody, and then it's like a referral system. Man, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I love ECU. Whenever I was getting my stuff back together in my early to mid 20s, after dropping out initially, I'd gone into community college, and I tried to go to UNC Charlotte. I'm just outside of Charlotte, like a couple 20, 30 miles north of there, and they didn't take my credits for some reason. Just a generic IT degree, I guess. And for some reason, East Carolina had a program for me. So I went there, and man, I'm the biggest ECU advocate of all time. I know nobody really knows much about ECU, but I'm as diehard as they come, for better or for worse.
Awesome.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, there's anybody could get in. If you've got any children out there, you can go ahead and start enrolling them now. Get them into those remedial classes they got.
Yeah, and I've become interested in the team because I moved out here. I had them last season. So it's, I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even know they were in, what is it, Greensboro?
Greenville, yeah.
Greenville, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, now you're a new owner. Obviously, like you said, you're in the high 30s. You played one of our favorites in the league, Beer Cop, and beat him by more than 35. And we're going to talk about it right now because I like to make things uncomfortable. So, as a new player, and keep in mind it was just a scrimmage, how do you take the 35-point rule? Because 35-point rule, it was written 20 years ago. So how does it make you feel as a new owner and that whole situation? Because I would like to hear a perspective of a new guy.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I went into that game expecting to follow that rule set, but I also knew that it was a scrimmage, so I wasn't like at the time. So I went down. I was up. I don't even know how much I was up. Went down tried to go down at the 5, just got grabbed and thrown down like closer to inside the 2.5-yard marker. So then I was just like, it was a 31-point game, I guess, at the time. So I was like, well, let me just run like a power or a sneak and just go straight left with it, just because I was on the complete far right side of the hash mark. And I've had a lot of games in here so far that have been near the 35, and I'm more about like protecting someone else's ego or mindset. Like, I don't want to sit there and kneel and give you the ball at the 1 or immediately punt it out the back. Like, in my mind, I thought it made more sense just to run a quick play, get inside the goalpost more, and then kick it through on second down and just give them the ball back. Keep it moving. That was, honest to God, my only intention there. So when I came out, I didn't have an audible in that playbook, so I just had quarterback sneak. So I was holding left as far as I could. I would have lost 6 yards if I could. But when I snapped it, I got pulled forward as I was going left into the end zone. So I hit 37 at that point. But again, I'm still thinking it's just a scrimmage, right? Like, it wasn't my intention ever to go over there. And I still just shanked the extra point on purpose. I know none of that stuff even matters, but I was just even trying to show, more contrition or whatever. Like, I still thought I was completely safe, right? It's a scrim, But
and you didn't kick the extra point, by the way. I love to hear that. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm being serious, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it all happened in a split second, right? I mean, you can look.
No, he missed the extra point on purpose.
I'm joking. I'm just joking.
Like, you could go back, and I talked to Niddler about this later. I was like, you could go back on all these things. I could have fallen down at the 10. I could have, gone field goal block and all that stuff. I genuinely just felt like because it was a scrim, I just don't like to go out of the way to like make people feel stupid or something for not being as good, as during a game. I'm not even saying as I am. I'm saying during that game. Like Virginia put the belt to me, so like that doesn't mean that that's always going to happen.
So I want to bring that up because I watched that Virginia game, and one last question because it was in my original question. Maybe you missed it. How is the 35-point rule like as a new owner today? Because it was like I'm telling you, it's gospel, as you can clearly tell. So. Like, how is it as a new owner coming in when you read that? Like, are you kind of like, oh, we'll see? And I'm not trying to be a jerk right now. I'm seriously asking because I joined.
Oh, no, yeah.
I'm a day one guy. Like, what's it look like in 2025 as a new owner seeing that? Like, does that make sense?
Did you know the rule was as a big a deal as you do now? Like, did you think of it like that when you read that rule?
No, of course not. And I still, I'm fine with. Like I said, I was going into it trying to keep those because I still hadn't been playing that many games in here. But I knew it was a scrimmage, right? So I assumed there was a lot more flexibility in the scrimmage games. But I was still trying to adhere to that because
there is, by the way,
muscle memory, right?
Thing clear, yeah. There's definitely a stretch. I'm curious as a new owner. It was the only segue I had.
Yeah, so and I'm not taking this critically at all. So most leagues, I'd say probably your quote unquote, I'm air quoting right now, sim leagues will be closer to like 45, 50 point
okay,
thank you,
rules limits, but it doesn't bother me at all. Like, so if one thing that I've kind of figured out, I think it's just from all of the and maybe this is a tough way of learning this, but all of the pirate, he's not going to make it in here because he doesn't know the NDL way. And I know I kind of like laugh or whatever at that phrase, but I get it, right? Like, there's a lot of people in here, and I think 35, I've become just used to how reasonable that is, right? Like, you kind of know in the second quarter if you're going to be hovering around there. That's when I'll start pulling people out of the subbing down and all that stuff as you go. So it really doesn't bother me. I think the only place that it comes into factor is, if you are somebody like me trying to hang around the Heisman race, some games it's just like you're just never going to be able to do that without just, further being a dick in a different way, continuing to run somebody up the middle when you're already up 35. So I'm completely good with it.
Yeah, I was just super curious. I've just been here for a long time, and I just want to know what it's like. Like there wasn't even any NCAA games. Like, is our 35-point rule even like legit anymore? Like, it's probably maybe it can get moved around because it's so easy to come back on these games now because of just how quick they run and how quick people choose plays. Last question. I watched that Virginia game because I played him right after you, and then he just quit. But which is one of the coolest NDL stories of all time. And this is what's great about watching film. Like, seriously, I watched him play you, Pirate, or Anton, excuse me, and thank you for the scouting film. But how did you lose to that guy? He was terrible.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't move the ball, right? I mean, I've given a couple people 300 yards rushing with Rouchet. I've given like 4 more 250 plus. I mean, so here's what's funny. I've done a couple of those like highlight tapes for Rouchet. I mean, I was struggling. I was working my tail off to get like 2 yards in that game. For whatever reason, I just could not get through. And I was legitimately thinking about doing like a full like Angel Reese low light video where just every carry would just be me butt fumbling into my left guard. Because
to be honest with you, I was starting to wonder how you were beating people by 37 points.
It's hurtful, but yeah, I mean, it was bad. Like, that game was bad. And not to mention too, like, once I just couldn't run the ball at all, he was just dropping back and covering. And I mean, I threw a couple interceptions where it was just like, let's just get this over with, I could see the user was coming over on the crosser, and I was like, F it, just throw it. If worst case scenario, it just gets dropped by him.
You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, I checked out of that game once the tide started turning. I was just ready to get it over with at that point. And I mean, like I said all along, I don't need to be anywhere near the playoffs, so I don't think it really hurt me. I think just to be able to play for a conference will be awesome for year one.
Nice.
But
Thanks
yeah,
for
you did hurt my
thanks for
feelings.
answering the questions, by the way. Oh no,
No
well,
problem.
I mean, I watched. I watched the whole game. I've never seen that guy play, so I wanted to just see what he did, and I was like, oh, dude, how's this guy
Yeah.
undefeated?
Well, he had 9 weeks of exams or whatever. I felt like that part in Superbad where he's like, apparently he's got a veterinarian exam. I don't know. I mean, he would not play. He just had exams for the entire
Yeah,
season.
and then he just left.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. That's the other thing too. I mean, honestly, he did us a favor because I shouldn't be in that conversation with this team. And if he wouldn't have played, and I would have had a sim win. I mean, I don't know where I would be right now, but
What a great point, by the way.
yeah. I mean, I honestly, he quit 3 hours after we played our game. He could be gone, and I'd still be undefeated right now. So you're welcome, NDL. I lost for you.
Or Pat beat him for us.
This
Yeah,
is a
true.
master class in coach speak. I love it.
Well, Coach Anton, we really appreciate you coming on the show this morning, getting to kind of see who you are. Excuse me. Always definitely sharing the light and kind of allows people to see who you are and why you type some of the things you do is mainly you're just kind of being funny, being a smartass and stuff like that, which we all enjoy. All of us definitely enjoy that because a lot of the chat, that's what that is. It's just people being smartasses and people get pretty sensitive and butthurt over it. And the next thing you know, it's a spitting match. But we really appreciate you coming on the show. I know you're going to stick around and do our game day pick'ems. And so next up, we are going to go ahead and bring in the coach, SgtLingus with the Marshall Thundering Herd. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is actually my nephew, who is still in high school. So you can go ahead and give him flack and give him crap. I know Penguin enjoys that. And so how are you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great. Saturday morning game day. Obviously, it's a little bit later for me than you. Where do you live at, Jordan?
Montana, in a small town called Glasgow.
Yeah, so Anton talked about living in a small town. You can kind of relate to that as well, huh?
Yeah. Middle of nowhere. Literally.
Yeah, so you Razorback brings up a question. He's your conference commissioner, so I feel like that's like kind of like a dad figure, and so you have to answer his question. He wants to know who your offensive coordinator is this season with the Marshall Thundering Herd.
So, well, he hasn't coordinated me in a long time, but he coordinated me for what game was it? The most.
Was it one of the games you
I think
lost?
No, it was one I won by like 35.
Okay.
But yeah, he used to be on this server. He's not anymore.
Oh, so he got kicked out of the league. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he
That's
did.
probably not a. Did you fire him and then they just kicked him out of the league or what? Now you have to tell us who it is.
Oh, it's Soxy.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The guy that I lost to by 35.
Okay, so he 35s you, and then he's your offensive coordinator.
Well, so kind of, yeah. He was just the best player I had played, and I asked him, well, since I was really bad, still am. I asked him to coach me up a bit, and he taught me a lot of stuff. Obviously, I don't play like him because he played like a quote unquote cheese dick. But
Agree to disagree. I don't think he did.
Good for you,
yeah,
kid.
no,
Good for
I didn't.
you.
I didn't say that. And someone
No,
else told him that in
I
person. And
don't think he did.
yeah, he didn't really, but he was just better than everybody, so everybody thought that. 35 point at everybody.
The dude could throw the rock, that's for sure.
He just was genius with his route combos.
Yeah.
So yeah, he passed that down to me. Still getting used to it. But
Well, so where does the gamer tag come from, SgtLingus?
my brother, his name is CPL_Lingus 330, so I just did Sergeant. Kind
It's
of.
like a flex move. Okay.
Yeah, I also did not know what Lingus meant, or yeah, what Lingus was short for.
Why don't you enlighten the crowd and let us know what it stands for?
I don't know if I should. It's short for Cunnilingus, and that is. Didn't know you had to pay money to change your name tag again. But
I'm pretty
good
sure
thing.
my mom is listening right now, so that would be his grandma. So it's
Oh
even funnier
crap!
that he has to explain what it means.
Hey, it's an important skill to the longevity of any good relationship, and especially marriage. So that's
Man, I can't wait for
not
you to
something
go
to be
to
ashamed of.
Thanksgiving this year. I can't wait.
For me to go where?
Thanksgiving?
Oh,
He lives in the
good
same town, sir.
God!
So
Good
Oh,
God! He's gonna bring that up in front of my parents. It's gonna be lovely.
yeah, like if I look up lingus, the Urban Dictionary, a lingus is a penis that is very long and very
No,
skinny. It's the exact opposite
what?
of a chode.
Okay,
There's
I did
no
not know it meant
way.
that.
I
No, no, no,
swear,
no. I didn't know it meant that.
I'm
I
on
didn't know
Google
it
right
meant that.
now,
No, no,
and
no, no.
lingus
Hear
in the
me out.
Urban
Listen,
Dictionary
listen,
says, "So you're a sergeant penis. You're very long and very
listen,
skinny."
listen to me. So my real dad, when I was, on good terms with him, his name was like XXX Cunnilingus XXX, and my brother like did short of that and did Lingus, and so did I. And not knowing what it meant, kind of regret back onto it. But I mean, it's a good username besides the context. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, being called a penis while you're playing video games is a great thing.
This is
no one's called me
incredible.
that. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you should probably change your gamer tag. I mean, that's just me. But I'm only one peanut in the gallery. So maybe we put it up to a vote.
Wow.
So
Penguin,
anyway, jumping
yeah,
in.
go ahead, Penguin.
Yeah. Jordan, how are you doing today on what might be your last day in the NDL?
oh, I'm doing great. A little tired, but that's
Now,
fine.
the obvious question people are dying to know: are you doing this because you want to, and Tim's kind of a like a cool uncle, or are you being forced to be in the league and actually talk to us today?
At first, I honestly, he kind of like was like, "You do this right now," you know. But then I started to enjoy it. Like, found the fun in it. Like I did, I sucked really bad when I first started. Pretty sure I went 2-12 or 2-10, something like that. Was not very good at the game. Let's just say that.
I believe you. So now that you're here, even though it was against your will, you're definitely saying you're glad to have joined the NDL at this point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
One of
okay.
the coolest things I've been a part of personally.
Fantastic. Now up there in Montana, you see out in the middle of nowhere, what kind of leisure activities do you have to take place in out there? Do you do a lot of hunting, or I mean, I know fishing's a thing up there, but what's the largest animal you've ever encountered and dealt with?
Oh, largest animal. Probably personally encountered or like just like
Personally encountered.
think. Honestly, personally, probably just a deer. I haven't seen much things bigger than that in Montana, but I know there is.
you
Got
never been
any?
lingus hunting up there? No lingus hunting?
Not recently. Also, can we talk about why Grandma is watching the podcast, Tim?
Because I sent her a link.
This is incredible.
Golly.
I mean, I guess while we got you under the hot seat, man, I actually would like to watch a question for you because I got to play you last year, and man, Braylon
Oh,
Braxton was a 4,000-yard passer last year. One thing I noticed is Braylon Braxton sitting at 2,400 yards with 10 less compared to last year. You got 3 more games left. I mean, seems like you've definitely cleaned it up on the offensive end, and your record up to this point's in a better spot. Got a shot to go. Not what I think you're 6-3 now. Got a shot to go 9-3. I mean,
Oh,
I guess
I'm definitely going 9-3.
What inspired you, man? What got you in the situation outside of, I guess, having an offensive coordinator that played like a quote unquote cheese dick? But I mean, what
Wow.
what got you to this point of I guess tweaking your offense, or what did you stop? I guess being so air heavy, because I know when we played, I mean, oh my goodness, it was what 50-40 with 1,000 yards of total offense.
Yeah. So I realized, honestly, I realized the end of last season that I needed to run the ball a lot more because my passing game, it's really good, but I just struggle to opening it because I just pass way too much. And I played a couple games this year, did the same thing, and then like around after I lost to San Jose, I was like, I'm gonna start running the ball more. And it started working out for me. I mean, my running backs had like what 350 yards the last 3 games I've played. Worked out well for me.
Dude, I mean, all I know to say, I don't know if you plan on staying with Marshall or not, but keep going, dude. I can't wait for you to get a roster that's above an 82 overall, 83 overall, whatever Marshall comes in at, man. I'm excited to see you with a good roster and move up into a bigger conference.
Thank you, thank you.
So, Lingus got to change the name after that.
Now you feel weird calling him a penis, don't you?
Just call me Sergeant. Or
Oh, just call me Sergeant is exactly how every porno starts. So no, I'll just.
Sergeant Dick.
Oh man!
Oh, dude, whatever
Now
you
I
want me
forgot
to do,
my
Drill
question.
Sergeant.
Oh, I have one question. Skinny wiener. Yeah. How does it feel to watch age 36 to 55-year-old grown men argue every other day?
well,
Being in those arguments, by the way. But how does that feel? Because our most mature members, I would like to put this out there in the world because it is kind of funny, are the kids that are in high school, by the way, or junior high or whatever it is. They are. One of them's a conference commissioner. So think about that for a minute. Like anyone who's like, oh, the kids are bad these days. Let's hear the perspective right here.
well, I feel like as a kid, you get kind of worried to say some of the stupid stuff, you would say as a kid, so kind of don't. And
Say it. We want to hear it.
you just laugh at the stuff other people say. So say what? I don't have anything to say now, but like there's been times I have and I didn't. Probably for the greater good.
I coached for 15 years. I coach kids your age, and I just find it incredible that like everyone when I coach was like, "Oh, the kids are different these days," and then I'm in a league where the adults argue, and the kids are just like, "I just want to play my games."
Yeah, I feel like that's why me and Soxy got along well because we both are pretty young. Both understood each other.
And when Andy does his little bracket thing, where he actually puts people in, that's what he should do. Is he should do it by age. Like just ask everyone their age and just put everyone in an age bracket.
Well, I tell you
Who is
what,
the
you give that Andy guy just 5 minutes of freedom, and his mind goes wild.
Who is the youngest?
Man, it's
Might be
probably
you.
between you and well, yeah, because I think Boss Ranger's son's a senior, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he?
Junior.
A junior. Okay, so I think Jordan's a junior, he's a junior, and then El Jefe and his buddy MJ, they're both seniors though, right? Because they were taking trips to colleges and stuff. Maybe they're juniors too, Razorback said. So it'd be really interesting if we have 4 junior high school kids in our league right now. And Pat, you brought up a great point, man. Going back to like previous seasons, 12, 13 years ago, almost anyone in here could admit, even being one of those kids, is man, the younger kids had a real hard time in the NDL. Mainly because we were arrogant, we were obnoxious, we had a hard time respecting the opponents, and we kind of see it
Remember the
completely
OG
different.
NDL, Tim? People were, if you were over 30, you were old.
Yep.
That's the majority of the league now.
And now these younger kids are I mean, I've never seen any of them disrespect anybody in the chat. I've never seen them
been more mature than any of us.
100%.
I don't know. I'm on the younger side myself. When I start cutting a promo, it gets a little aggressive every once in a while. But I mean, I like to think, man, the younger cats in here aren't so bad, man. I'm speaking from personal experience too.
They're not at all. And here's the best part: I heard through a third party that El Jefe and Kemp, who are boys in real life, gave each other bad coaches reports.
Yeah, they're like best friends too. Can you imagine that? Like,
they like gave each other 3s and 2s.
I just couldn't imagine that. That's like just super spite. Like,
no, but to be fair, they're even funnier than us. Like how funny is that shit? Like, hey, you beat me. I'm gonna
Dude, the pickup basketball after school would be so aggressive after that, man.
it'd
I
be
tell
awesome,
you
right?
what.
Yeah, and they go at it in the chat sometimes. Like if you
all
start
the
poking
time.
them, if you poke them and they bash each other about who's better at what, and the other one will talk about how, like one of them was talking about how the other one's just a JV football player and will never play, and like it's pretty funny. I think we lost.
Man, I love that.
Oh no, Jordan's still in here.
Oh, sweet, dude, and I love that.
I'm just listening.
Oh, dude, the rivalries are good for the NDL, man. All the little side, I guess, head bashes between, what is it, Vic and SMU, Sam Houston, SMU. I love watching them go back and forth. Man, I'll see Jiggy get flared up every once in a while. Man, I love it. I think it's great for the league.
So, Jordan, being a younger guy right now, what kind of games just give us an idea of what kind of games, like what are you playing right now? What's your favorite game? What are some other games you play? And what really got you into online gaming? What's the first game that really, got your mind and stuff going in online gaming?
It's probably Fortnite. I hate to say it, but Fortnite definitely. I used to play that game way too much. Haven't played it in a while. Just recently hit my 2-week Minecraft phase, so I've been playing that quite a bit. And I just recently started playing college football online. I mean, before, like, I think it was Madden 18 when I first started on the PS4. All I did was play on rookie and just throw Hail Marys to Doug Baldwin. So, and then around like Madden 20, all I did was rebuild. So I didn't really start playing the game against actual people till probably last year.
Now, do you have any other friends that play college football?
Oh yeah, but they're all trash.
You see, that is interesting that I guess some people get it and some don't. We have other guys in our league that have kids and they'll say, my kid's not quite ready yet for the NDL. Which you bring that up is that they're trash. And do you think any of your friends would be able to conform to kind of like Anton loves to say, the NDL way?
Would they be able to play the NDL way? Well, I think they could, but they would go 0-12, honestly. Some
there's
could.
nothing wrong
Definitely
with that.
others
There's nothing
couldn't,
wrong
because I
with
know
that.
I have friends that just run the Texas playbook and just spam RPO, so.
Please, I would love 100 people to come in here and be 0-12. Please, I would love it. Please, tell them to come.
No. For your sake, no.
Well, man, Jordan, I don't have any other questions for you. I know you're sticking around for our pick'em, which we're about to do. I really appreciate you coming on the show. I think you've been a great addition to the league. I check in with your conference commissioner here and there. and obviously, I've heard all good things about you, even opponents that have played you and stuff. And so, from my standpoint, is I really appreciate it because that's always worrisome when you bring someone in, definitely a family member, is that you just don't want it to affect anything. And so, it's been a great addition. It's a lot of fun being able to share some of the things that I experienced as a young kid. And you're starting to see it too, and people are really kind of opening up and stuff to you. So I really appreciate it. Um, so
Of
next,
course.
we'll move right on into just give you a little bit of a score update. At Northern Illinois and Central Michigan are playing right now. Northern Illinois just hit a big pass play. Northern Illinois is up 21-14, so big upset alert. Central Michigan's on the ropes
I
here.
put that on right now.
Yeah, it is on right now in the Discord as well as on our Twitch feed. And so I'll go back and forth between our pick'ems here. And it looks like obviously that may just take care of the whole college football playoff discussion in itself right now. So, oh, there you go. There's a pick six. So 53-yard pick six. And so we'll jump right into this our pick'ems this week. Obviously, you can see our standings here on the board. I am no longer allowed to make fun of Phony for his poor pick'ems. And so we'll jump right into it as our show needs to keep moving on. This week for our pick'em games, I'll jump right into the big Clemson versus Tennessee matchup, ACC versus SEC clash here in the NDL. This one's really interesting. I think that home field is going to play a big factor in this one, although Clemson doesn't pass the ball much, right? This was a big discussion in the chat. I think he's like 75% run this season, which is going to help him on the road in Tennessee. And I think Clemson and Mafe are going to have a huge game against the Volunteers.
Yeah. For me, I think these are two teams I hate in general. And I think Tennessee's fan base is one of the worst fan bases in the nation, and they're always overrated. But I think Vegas knows a little bit too much about the game, especially being at home here against Clemson, to squeak out a W over Clemson and hand him his first loss on the season. So I'm going to Tennessee here.
No, this is definitely sure to be a good game. Both. I believe. Didn't we see this matchup in the playoffs last season as well? But Maffa is definitely going to bring it, and that Vegas is going to throw the ball downfield and then throw it down the field some more. And the game's at Tennessee. But you know what? This is the year of Maffa, and Maffa is going to roll, and Clemson is going to win because of that. Maffa's going to win the Heisman, and this game will be a key part of that.
Wow. This is going to be very difficult for me to talk about, but I think the SEC is going to show why every other conference is kind of below them. I think Vegas wins by 17, and I don't want to hear his little cry wussy, I've been playing the show or whatever it is. Just he's going to go out and play good. Like it's a video game. He's going to play it well. And I think he's going to smoke the kid.
Man, I think Phil Moffitt is your Heisman. I agree with that statement, up, down, left, right, and center. But, man, I tell you what, as much as I would love for this college football playoff to get shaken up, and, man, does Rocky Top on the big speaker just hit so good. Give me Tennessee. I'm going to say by 14.
Yeah, I was looking at these two teams last night a little bit because I don't have a lot of historical, but I did see that Tennessee had I think a 16-point win last year in the playoff. I like what Tennessee's doing against the run. I mean, they've only given up 4 rushers this year to go over 100 yards as a starter. It's hard to stop the run in this game, and one of those was Ashton Genty. So I don't know. I'm definitely taking Tennessee. I think it'll be close. I just think he'll be able to get enough stops to get Moffa on the ground.
All right. Clemson or Tennessee? I'm going to go with Clemson. because I have no clue who the Tennessee coach is. I'm gonna be honest.
Love it, love it. He would be surprised that no one knows who he is, so that is a perfect response.
We're going to jump into our next game here. It's going to be Boston College traveling to number 20 ranked UNC and the Bill Belichick team. For me, this was a game that was pretty much decided off of one factor or two factors. One would be Amarian Hampton, one of my favorite players to watch, and he doesn't get as much love as Ashton Genty does. So I think right now is when he should be getting more love than Ashton Genty with how good of a season that North Carolina's had, and with them being at home. My other deciding factor is I played Pat multiple times since I've joined the league, and he's a really good coach to play against, and I think he comes out with the W here against Boston College and a big win here.
This is a matchup of two really exciting offenses for sure. BC, they're just very opportunistic. Castellanos is just a little jitterbug moving around there, getting space to make his throws. And then UNC, we all know Hampton is just a beast at running back there, and staring up. He's got Maffa in his sight. Is he going to do enough to get there? I don't know. And home field in this game, I think, is going to matter. So you're going to have the Jesuit community. They took an L to Conclave a few weeks ago, and they're going to take another one here, and the Tar Heels are going to win.
Yeah, so coach speak time, but I'm going to talk about my guys. I think that we will have a great game. It'll be tight. Like it's gonna, you know what I mean? It's going to be one of those games where maybe if you have the ball last, you win. Everyone talks about our running back, who's awesome, but how about our quarterback? 3,200 yards passing. We have 5 guys with over 30 receptions. I mean, I love our team. I love our chances. So I'm obviously going to pick us. It's going to be tight, though. Like, it's going to be last possession type stuff. So I'll go with obviously, with the Tar Heels.
Man, I agree with it being a tight game. I do. And I love everything that you do at UNC, man. And I love the way you play. I love the way you run the ball. I love the way that you scheme up the pass so well. But there's always a but. And, man, I've seen firsthand Boston College and the way that they play and the way they take care of business. And I want this to be a defining game for Boston College to try to rise up in the rankings. And I think Boston College brings it down, 1 score, 2-minute drill, finds a way to punch it in, and I'm taking Boston College.
Yeah, I liked everything I saw from Boston College. Like, ups to them for their out of conference schedule. I mean, we talked about it earlier. The losses they have are, I don't even know. Are we allowed to say quality losses? I'll air quote that as well. But I looked at Petty, like, you look all the way back to week 2. He's giving everybody 50 burgers. I mean, he's flipping them every single day. I would say if you're scoring 50, you're going to win that almost every time, as long as you're not playing FAU in the fourth quarter with a lead. So I'm going to take North Carolina in that one in a shootout.
I'm going to take Mr. Petty here with UNC.
There we go, man of many words. I'm going with the Tar Heels as well. I think they're going to be able to get the run game going. I think that'll be the biggest difference in the entire game. And obviously, I'm all media today.
Moving on, next we've got Florida Atlantic, the Cardiac Owls, heading to take on the Charlotte 49ers. Now, we've all seen FAU play some super exciting games and currently sitting with a playoff position in their back pocket. And we got 2 ways we can look at it. Are they really this incredible team of destiny, or are they someone who's flirting with fire again and again and again? And honestly, going on the road, Charlotte's a good opponent. You got a chance to play spoiler. I think the Owls' luck runs out, and the 49ers take this one.
You're
Yeah.
muted.
Oh no, I'm here.
No. Gotcha.
I'm going Charlotte. It's where I live, so that was pretty much what I based the pick off of. No, to be fair, he's an awesome owner. He also has the Middle Tennessee State loss is a bizarre one. I think he played Middle Tennessee State and lost, but great owner. Again, the AAC is why FAU is in the playoff and Central Michigan isn't, because it's a way more difficult conference. But I'm gonna go with Charlotte.
Man, and what I think will
Big
happen
Red.
are two different things.
Big Red, are you
Yeah,
standing in a
true.
hallway in a bunker?
All right, how about now?
Oh,
A
nailed
little
it.
bit
Sorry,
better.
I
You got put the tin hat back
big,
on.
big behind. Sorry, my tin hat's back on. Are we better?
Yes, a little bit.
Nope, worse.
Yeah, you're worse. We can't hear you.
No. 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Go to the next pick, and I'll be right after.
All right, I got you. Yeah, so like I know Jumper. We played together all year. Pause. And I don't know, like I like Charlotte. I don't love to see that he just joined in the audience either. That's not my favorite. We had a great conversation after our scrim, but I just keep looking back at the first scrim that we had together. I think it was 45-7. Or whatever, 42-7. Sorry, whoa, for all the 37s out there. Whoa, it was 42-7.
Self-admitted rules violation.
I'm just editing his score in the box.
Shell, where's Shell?
But I can't get that out of my head, and I just know. And I also would say too, me and Jumper played one of like the most classic conference championship games back in our old league. So I know he can put up points. Jumper, do not make me look stupid. I think this game is 2 to 3 scores for FAU.
I don't know much about Charlotte.
Do I sound better? Do I sound better? Anybody, or is it still
Yes,
off? Or if
yes,
it's
you
off,
do.
well, I'm just gonna log off.
You know, you're doing a good job interrupting people. So
All
it
right,
works.
sweet. So, dude, I know I had to skip one. I had to skip one to get where we're at. Man, just give me Charlotte, FAU. I need them to lose really bad so I can make the college football playoff. Charlotte, I know you're in here. Take care of business. Light me up. And if my stuff is going to stay bad, I'm just going to log off. You fellas be safe. And remember, if you don't.
Irish goodbye.
Absolutely
Or you'll
incredible.
die.
Hell of a way out.
Yeah, Jordan, you're up next.
Okay. I don't know much about Charlotte, but FAU, I've seen some of his games. I know he hasn't played many good opponents, but I'm gonna go with FAU.
Yeah, I'm on the Charlotte train here. I think Charlotte's going to win. I think Florida Atlantic's been playing several close games. Charlotte's playing well as of late, and so I have the 49ers winning here, which is tough for me to say 49ers.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. Big upset here. Charlotte wins.
Next up, we got the USF versus Tulsa game. Obviously, this game has a lot to do with just, two very good coaches, two very good teams that are playing each other. I think that for me, I think the biggest difference is going to just be I really don't think there'll be a big difference. I think South Florida's going to win big here. I have South Florida beating Tulsa.
Yeah, I do too. I think South Florida handles business. They're just, I think, a really much better team than Tulsa. So yeah, I got Bulls big.
First of all, it's ridiculous that Tulsa is called the Golden Hurricanes, being that they're 827 miles from a large body of water. And no hurricane has survived inland more than 350 miles. So, I mean, it's just science. South Florida win.
Yeah, so here's the problem and things that aren't really talked about in the NDL is Jokers, aka South Florida, has a child, a brand new newborn. So the hours he's going to play this game right now, are out of control. So I'm going to go with South Florida. It's right in the wheelhouse of maybe winning by 30, 35, because he's just going to be sitting there with a newborn on his lap and just playing games. Because my buddy in the league, Jeff Daddy, when his kids are around, let me tell you, he plays it pretty well.
I can go next. Yeah, I'm ECU fan, so it's cool to see Tulsa up top in the American. But yeah, I don't know a lot of the historicals, but I would just say USF, just roster wise, one of the better G5 teams in the game. Looks like they're putting up good numbers, and I think I could be wrong here, but weren't they up like 21 on FAU here recently, and just didn't close it out? So I think that looks like a better resume for me.
I'm gonna go with Joker 78 with South Florida. I just feel like he's gonna play smart, not make many turnovers, while Tulsa will.
I'll try harder. I'll study 20 hours a day if I have to.
What the hell? Did someone say that, or was that an audio?
Someone knows what that's from, right?
I'll try harder. I'll study.
You see what I mean? Like the young kids are like,
I'll
dude,
try
you
harder.
adults are out of
I'll study 20
control.
hours a day if I have to.
How do we watch this game? Because I've got fired up chip on my screen here, and it says no content available.
Yeah, I have it up right now. The Central Michigan game, I have it up. I'm just waiting or just have the couple more
Is
games
it on
left.
his Twitch or?
I'm watching it on Devin Higgins' Twitch, which must be Northern Illinois.
Fired up chip is in streaming. Very suspect.
42-21 right now. The game is.
That's real close.
What's the username?
Devin Higgins is the Twitch.
Thank you.
Or we could pick the next game.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, then I'll start it then. Next up, we got USC and Notre Dame going to battle for the Jeweled Shillelagh, which honestly sounds more like the name of a high-priced Irish whore. Now, given the traditions of how Mike has treated these games in the past here, I feel like he's going to do the opposite of what I pick. But then again, maybe if he knows I don't want to pick him, but then I'm going to pick him so that he does win or doesn't. Either way, I'm picking Notre Dame. Pat?
Yeah, I'm gonna get kicked out of my family for a few days for saying this, but I am going with Notre Dame. That's,
Oh my God! I
Yeah.
can't believe you said that.
that's how.
Welcome to the family.
I'm going to check this man's temperature.
Welcome to the family, Pat. I'm glad to have you.
This is where where competition supersedes reality. I need to get close in this record for the best picker of the season, and normally I would just blindly pick, but I have to try to get wins here, and I think Notre Dame wins by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said before. Not a lot of historicals here. I went back and looked. It just looked like Reigns he's had more wins over a long period of time. Looked like most of all of his seasons had a pretty high win rate. I haven't seen a lot of Notre Dame's play. I watched USC against Nebraska. I think I watched them not being able to hold on to a lead at home versus Wisconsin. So I'll just take Notre Dame, just a body of work from what I've seen from USC so far.
I'm gonna take Notre Dame. I think the overall is gonna play a huge factor. And anyways, Notre Dame's probably the better player.
We're going to go inside. We're going to go outside. Inside, outside. We're going to go get them on the run, boys. And once we get them on the run, we're going to keep them on the run. And then we're going to go, 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 go. And we're not going to stop till we cross that goal line. This is the team they say is good. Well, I think we're better than them. They can lick us. What do you say, men? Go Irish.
And look at all these Notre Dame fans in here. I love to see it. Pat joining the dark side. See, there's
Hey,
one
as soon
thing
as
here.
Tim started on that right there, that just made my blood boil.
Oh my god. There's one
You
thing.
admit they're the dark side.
Right. One different thing between USC and Notre Dame. Notre Dame fans will never pick USC in any instance, while USC fans turn their backs on their own team. So, with how strong Notre Dame is, I will never pick against them. Notre Dame, big.
Unbelievable.
That man, look at that. The clean sweep from the NDL GameDay crew.
Hey, no one believes in USC. It's just like real life. They just fall
I'm
apart.
just if Mike doesn't win this game, I'm never picking him again.
We say that all the time, and then we go back and pick them. Like we pick against DK all the time, and he's probably proved us wrong almost a majority of it.
Well, I just flip a coin with him now.
We're going to jump into our big Sun Belt matchup of the week with the matchup between Old Dominion traveling to Marshall. I think this has some big implications in the Sun Belt, especially in the Sun Belt East. If Old Dominion loses this game, you're going to have 3 different teams in the East with 1 loss. That could open up room if James Madison gets some games in. He's undefeated right now at 2-0 in the conference. But you also have the newcomer coach over at Georgia State that's 4-1 as well. So this could open up some big games at the end of this week here, depending on who wins what. So with me, this is the only game that I hope I get wrong this week, and I hope it's not even close. I'm going with the Thundering Herd.
You hope you
bold
get that wrong, really? Really?
This is me jinxing you.
Yeah, all right there. I'll remember that.
All right, jumping right in here. It definitely is a game that is quite important, especially if Central Michigan goes down and after Charlotte beats Florida Atlantic like I predicted, maybe Old Dominion has a chance to be back in the playoff mix. Who knows? Well, when we look at this matchup, we know Marshall has definitely had a strong season. Old Dominion's had a better one. And I always like looking at the mascots as well to help me determine such things here. And I got to tell you, I like the Old Dominion mascot. It's Big Blue, he looks like a lion, and honestly, they're going to get it done. Big Blue is going to lead the way, and they're going to reenact what happened to Marshall with Flight 932.
Oh my
Gosh.
god.
What
Oh, God.
I think you forgot my grandma's watching, dude.
Go ahead, Pat. You follow that up.
You know, I got to be honest with you. Between the mature high school age kids that we have in this league, unbelievable. Hold on a second.
That's dog wants out.
No, DoorDash shows up right as I'm talking. So,
Bring
beer.
Yeah,
hey,
beer.
long story short, no, definitely got a buffalo wrap. It's gonna be phenomenal. I'm gonna go with the young, mature crowd. That sounded weird, but Randy Moss's alma mater and Sergeant Skinny Dick for the W.
Do we go? Are we picking our own team? Or picking our own games, I should say?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Devin Roche woke up today, so that's going to be the story of this game. He's going to get player of the game again. Just to plug once again, I know people are completely asleep, but 4 games left in this season. 38th in carries. He's not getting hammered. He has 3 games all season where he's got more than 20 touches. He's not getting. He's not touching 40, as some people might in this league. 38th in carries, 6th in rushing yards, tied for 4th in touchdowns, 1st in yards per carry. He's gonna be in that conversation at the end, and he's gonna have a big day today.
I know, personally, I can lose to teams that suck a lot, aren't good, but I can also beat teams that are pretty good. I'm gonna go with the herd.
And just firing up his players. I'm
Oh,
going.
Balin
What?
Braxton, please throw the ball good. Tyson Chapman, don't drop the ball like 30 times. Let's go.
And there you go. I mean, this one was close for me. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think you're going to teach two different styles of offense here, and so I think I'm going to go with the Marshall and Thunder Herd mainly because it's family. Pat, I thought you were redeeming yourself here.
Yeah, I guess that buffalo chicken wrap's pretty good.
Yeah, right. He says, "I want to redeem myself. I'm doing the next game," and now he's sleeping.
I'll jump into this next game here. So we got our game of the week this week. We got number 9 Utah traveling to number 24 ranked Iowa State on the road in a massive Big 12 matchup. Iowa State here for me, they could cause a little bit craziness here in the Big 10 towards the top. I think they have a chance, if I'm not mistaken, to maybe sneak their way into the conference championship. But they could definitely knock Utah out of the conference championship here with a big win here. For me, last time I picked Iowa State, it didn't go so well. He lost to Texas Tech. I'm sorry, Penguin, I did that to you. But this time around, I'm not making that same mistake. I played Utah early in the season, should have beat them. I believe in Penguin and the Cyclones in this big matchup here. Last time he was on the road, this time he's at home. I'm going Cyclones here over Utah.
So you're sorry for what you did last time, and you did it again. I'm not sure how to take that.
Happens.
Well, it'll definitely. I think we'll be ready to play. Cyclones. We've had a overall fantastic season. Utah, despite that setback in a really great battle with Colorado, is still right there in playoff position and a chance to win the conference. I think this is a game that is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Be very competitive. You're going to see the Iowa State receivers have a big day. But in the end, I think Utah's a little too strong in a few key areas, and is probably just gonna wear down the Iowa State defense. So unfortunately, I think Utah takes this one by like 10.
What? So you picked against yourself?
I did.
Okay,
Reverse
fair enough.
psychology.
Hey! You just picked Notre Dame. So I mean,
oh, dude, my body just got chills when you said that. Fair enough.
I am also trying to pick the games correct.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I appreciate a guy who's going for his record on game day over his record on the field. I will definitely pick Utah here. I think it'll be closer than the experts think. Is that what they used to say? It'll be closer
I don't
than
know
the
if we have
experts think.
experts here.
By the way, fired up Chip losing by 28. And he was over here all upset about not being in the playoff.
Yeah, sometimes things just take care of themselves, huh?
Yeah, 9 of 20 passing. Well done. Sorry.
Pat, who do you got in the Utah game?
Oh, Utah by 100. Sorry, Penguin.
Oh, damn.
Oh, it gets him out of the league. It gets him
You're just telling him to have more confidence and do well, and then you told him he's going to get beat by 100.
Yeah, well, media position.
I played Penguin in a scrimmage a couple weeks ago. I loved the way he played because I think he played in my building and he was really safe with the football. He plays a lot like I do passing wise. I liked his game. I just think from what I've seen from MC, he's just kind of a different animal. In some games, you kind of just have to play those shot for shot games, and I think this is going to be one of those, and probably just sets up better for Utah to win this one.
Who did Penguin pick in the ODU Marshall game?
The team that's going to win.
Picked ODU. Remember, he said your plane's going to crash again.
Yeah, something
Oh,
about
yeah, yeah,
a terrorist
Oh,
attack.
yeah, it
I
definitely got
remember.
weird. That's right.
So
Getting weird again.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with Marion, the guy who taught me how to change my roster before the game, by a landslide. Don't even feel bad, Penguin.
man, letting her rip.
I want on the record this will be closer than landslides.
Feelings are for women and children. Fine.
Don't get on the Titanic. We I think this one will be close. Again, this comes down to just some median brotherly love here. I got Iowa State, who's playing hot right now. I think Utah still got that hangover from that loss to Colorado, and so I got Iowa State winning.
How much did he pay you to say that?
None. I promise. Phony, you're up, man.
I love that off. So that was all of our picks for this week. I'm just gonna say one thing. I think with how Tim and I's season has went, I think we gave bad luck to Penguin off from our pick. So
Yeah, Penguin, you're uphill battle here. So
Hey, I
got
can
a
blame
lot
no one
to
else
climb.
for how our season went. It was my decision to schedule Smitty early. I turned the ball over versus Texas Tech. You know, the bad things that have happened to us are all on us. So we'll see what happens.
man, what a big win for, I know you brought it up, Pat, a big win for Northern Illinois, but even a bigger win for Florida Atlantic as they beat Northern Illinois, who just knocked off Chip in the first ever loss in the MAC for Central Michigan with Chip at the helm there, which is a big deal, right? Running that MAC conference and a big loss. That'll have some implications next week in the college football playoff as well as people's polls, hopefully. Um, we got a lot of games that are going on right now. If you tune in to the NDL Live on the NDL website, Duke and Florida are playing. We got SMU and Cal and UTSA and Southern Mississippi, Arizona TCU. And then we're about to kick off with Michigan with Marshall, the Thundering Herd against Old Dominion. Coach Anton and Coach Sargent, thanks a lot for coming on the show today. Great guest. Thanks for asking the questions, even some of the hard questions. We really appreciate it. And are you guys planning on playing just right away?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good for it. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Let me
tune in. Go ahead.
Oh, you guys are playing right now.
Yeah.
let me ask you one thing, Anton.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh boy.
How do you feel
My
that
lingus
you're
is
going to be?
tingling.
How do you feel that you're going to be?
Unbelievable.
How do you feel that you're going to be playing with a minor with a lingus? You know.
Oh no. Yeah, this is actually pretty normal. We can talk about that offline.
You didn't end the stream yet, bro. Yeah,
Red
you weren't
dot.
supposed to say that.
Well, good job. Good luck, you two. Hope we have a great game. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in Saturday morning. We'll be on again live next Saturday morning. Anything else?
Love the league. Thanks for having us on.
Go Marshall.
What's the Twitch name I should be following for this game?
Oh, it's Lingus.
If I type that in
You
if
better
I
be
am I going to be
You're on the
flagged?
list.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't be
Wait, hold
getting
up.
just a Twitch feed.
Well, I better
It's,
see better gameplay out of Marshall than I do in Fortnite.
Okay. It's my username. It's my username for Discord, except without the numbers.
You throw it up in I'll throw it up in the Discord. I'm gonna end the stream on here. But then we'll keep the stage up and I'll throw the game up in here so people can watch it and anyone can join in and visit with us if you'd like.
Maybe use the wheelbarrow.
Wait, so you guys are gonna be in a chat making fun of me?
Figure that out. Give me a call.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No,
That's
cheering
concerning.
for you. Cheering for you. Sorry.
And where will that be?
So I can stay in the Discord. I'll just have to switch over to my phone, but my PlayStation setup's downstairs.